Everyone. So we're going to do a frequency meditation today, and it's going to be on getting you out of the gridlock. So if you've been paying attention to the astrology, you might know that we're at the end of a 35-year cycle. I don't want to go too far in the details, but there's basically an alignment that is coming into play right now that has been building up to changing. It's been something that you've been stuck with for the past 35 years or so. So what I want to do in today's frequency meditation is kind of supercharge that shift, so that shift happens quickly, pretty dramatically, and yeah, so that you just get out of the gridlock. So whatever that is for you, whether it's career, relationship, health, whatever it is, whatever you've been stuck on that feels like no matter how hard you try, it doesn't break through, it doesn't change, that's what we're going to work on today. So you might see Camille behind me. She's already out. I started generating some frequencies earlier, so I'm going to ramp those up so you can just kick back, relax, and I may share things, I may not, but we'll just go ahead and I'll start generating the frequencies and you can kind of bathe in those and yeah, just open up to the change. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Please make sure that you're not driving or doing anything that needs your immediate attention to while you're listening to one of these. So yeah, just be careful there. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold and release through your mouth. And then hold at the bottom of your breath. And inhale again. Hold. Exhale. And hold. So you want to keep that rhythm going as best you can. Slow, deep inhales. So you focus on keeping that rhythm going. We'll go ahead and I'd like you to visualize a pillar that goes straight down out the bottom of your body, down into the center of the earth. Visualize that going all the way down. And then once you reach the center of the earth, what I want you to do is notice the frequencies there, and then you're going to breathe those up that pillar, back up into your body. And as that happens, you're going to notice your feet, bottom of your feet, tops of your feet, up your legs, up into your hips, into your lower torso, mid-torso, chest and back, shoulders, traps, down your arms, fingers, fingertips, into your head, wrapping all around your head, into your face, all the little muscles on your face, and then you can ask yourself, how do I connect to the purity even stronger? And if you would like to use a different word, you can use pure source, you can use the universe, you can use God, whatever word you want. But just make sure that it is of purity, whatever you're tapping into. I would not recommend tapping into like an angel or a guide or something like that. You want to connect straight into source. Okay. Now notice that column extending up and raising you up in the air. About 300 feet. And just notice that the column's like really sturdy. Okay. And now I'm going to start generating those frequencies of getting out of the gridlock, of breaking through the gridlock. Just give me a sec. You might feel something, you might not. Either way is fine. I'm just going to scan everybody that's going to be listening to this and see what are if there's any themes around the block. Okay, so it's like the first thing I get is like, she's so out. So if you get tired, that's normal. So it's like the first thing I notice is like, it's kind of like, it's like realizing how big of an impact we can have on ourselves. That's something that we're a little bit blocked from seeing or expressing. Like not realizing just how strong we are. It's like the mothers that their kid gets trapped underneath a car and then they go and lift the car. It's like, how do you do that? So that's kind of what we'll be tapping into. So there's a little fear around that level of power and that level of authority that we have in our life. So let's see what we can do there. Yeah. So let's think about whatever that struggle has been for you for the past 35 years. Bringing it to me on a personal level, what it's been for me is like I needed to cultivate an ability to handle my power more responsibly. And that's what the past 35 years has helped with. It's helped mature me quite a bit. So just let's see if you can find what was the gift in the past 35 years for you with whatever struggle it is. And I'm going to generate some frequencies to help you see that clearer. It feels like most people here are transcending good and bad. They're seeing beyond just polarity. So the resistance is like some people are like, yeah, no, the thing that I've been struggling with for the past 35 years has just been bad. But you're also if you're guided to watch this, then you're probably someone that has also been kind of learning that there's no such thing. That like good versus evil, it's just like a perspective thing that happens depending on which side you're on. So you might be moving past that. You might be starting to like bring more information into you that's like, oh, I see beyond just like good guys versus the bad guys. Like I understand the more complicated nature of what's actually happening. Just see what comes up. You might get pictures, sounds, feelings, words, metaphors, stories, memories. See whatever comes up for you. Some of us, I gotta work on your throat area. It's like you're blocked from expressing the anger that's been pent up. So you might, at the end of this, you might have a big release of anger. You may have actually had the release of anger before this, but that's good. You got to move it out of your body in order for it to get out of your energetic field. Okay. Good. It feels like 80, 90, 98% of us are good. If you're not good, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can still listen. This will still help. Alright, I'm going to start generating the frequencies of breaking through the gridlock. So, ducks, they fly in that flying V formation. So just notice that flying V formation. And notice where you are in the flying V. Whether you're on, just like where you are, like you might be on the side, you might be up at the front. And just notice where you are and notice what that feels like. And it should feel pretty close to, like however you relate with that, I'm willing to bet it feels pretty close to how your struggle has felt over the past 35 years. And then like notice what's happening when you're like looking around for like other positions that you could be in the flying V. The one up front is taking the most brunt of the wind's resistance. And the other ones, they get to draft off of him so it doesn't create that much resistance for them. But what I want you to do is move your consciousness from being anywhere on that flying V formation. Like if here's the flying V, instead of being anywhere on the wings, just go right here in the center. So as it moves, you move, and you're kind of protected by everything. And just notice what that feels like. So sometimes I use those metaphors to help people tap into the feelings. As long as you feel it emotionally, I can shift it in your field. For any of us that were up at the front of the pack, when you move into the middle, that like little pocket of air that's blocked off through the flying V, one objection is like, I'm not that strong. It's like when you're up at the front of the pack, you're the strong one. So moving back and letting the flying V move ahead without you being the one at the front, there's like a loss of, it's like feeling like I'm not that good of a leader or something. So you might be feeling that. If you're on the sides, you may have just been kind of like going with the flow, and now it's kind of disorienting being on the inside on your own. If you're at the back of the pack, there's not that much of a difference. You just kind of slide inside. Well, here's the difference. You don't feel as guilty. As before, at the back of the pack, if you slid inside, then you were like breaking the formation. So just be in that center pocket and just notice what it feels like to fly when you have the whole flying V protecting you. And they are breaking the wind's resistance for you. That's what it's going to feel like in the new energy that's coming in. Your higher self kind of does the whole flying V for you. Okay, just keep breathing. It's okay if you fall asleep. So I'm shifting your energy, so basically now you're in that safe little pocket behind the flying V. The one thing that everyone's kind of concerned of is like, okay, well, where's the flying V going? Now I can't decide where it's going. Yeah, that'll happen a bit. Your higher self will kind of take over and it'll guide you into the right direction. For some of us, that might be a little bit more forceful. But your higher self will prove itself to you. It's kind of up to you to like let go of needing to control it. It's like you don't want to micromanage source. Just imagine if a 7-year-old you was planning a vacation for you, and what kinds of things 7-year-old you would do. Like where a 7-year-old you would want to go, where they'd want to stay, what kinds of activities you do, and then compare that to your present day self. You might make some different choices with this broader, higher perspective that you have now. So the same thing is true for your higher self. Your higher self has an even broader perspective. It understands you. It absolutely adores you. And it knows a lot more than you. So if you can let go of a little bit of control, not to me, don't give it to me, I don't want it, give it to your higher self. Yeah, just let your higher self guide you. Feels like some of us want someone to just do it for us. No, 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 no. It's like if someone did it for you, like, you wouldn't know your own power, and you would feel like imprisoned, indebted to them, which you might get you the thing you want, but it's just setting you up for. So anyway, let's not do that. Let's just focus on us claiming our own power, reclaiming that, getting back in touch with that, and noticing how much power we feel being connected back to our higher self. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and just generate frequencies. So here's the image you can use. Notice someone with a glass that's made out of crystal, and then they're singing, and they start off with a low note, and then they start raising it higher and higher and higher until they reach that frequency where they can break the glass. So that's what you're going to do with your energy. Noticing what it feels like as your frequency goes higher and higher. Allowing the parts of you that know exactly how to do this to just do that now. Frequency going higher and higher. Seeing that glass that represents that gridlock in our life. See it start shaking a little bit. And then we just lock right into that frequency. Okay. And you'll probably feel the glass shatter. A lot of us are probably going to be feeling really good right about now. There's like a group of us that haven't quite felt it yet. So first group, you guys are good. Let's do the second group. Okay. Chances are you probably felt that. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. It's still working. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and tidy up the glass, put it in the trash. Thank it for being there so we could have that experience of going like, whoa, I can break glass. Like being grateful for the learning that came through it. Thank you for teaching just how powerful you are. And if you're still not ready, if you're still not quite ready to do that, that's okay. It might happen over the next, I don't know, several days, weeks, however long it takes. Imagining a journal, like a brand new blank journal. And then just flip the page. And I'll go ahead and stabilize things here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna end the recording in just a second. But yeah, so for anyone that wasn't like feeling things shifting around, if you're like, that's okay. Just like pay attention for emotions to show up. It can happen before you do this, or it can happen after. So the emotions have to move for, I'd say, 75% of us. The metaphors and stories that we were using here helped you tap into the emotions so you're able to shift it. But for the 25% of us that didn't, that's okay. It'll still show up like in your actual physical experience so that you can see it. So just think about this frequency meditation, and yeah, as long as you keep that perspective and you go through those emotional shifts, that's your way of kind of locking in your new reality, and you'll just kind of switch over to that pretty easy. So yeah, I'll be really curious what your experience is like as soon as you start operating from inside the flying V, with the flying V as your buffer rather than you at the front end. So if you have any cool stories, anything you want to share, go ahead and feel free to put that in the comments. If you like the video, give us a like. And if you want to be notified next time, please subscribe. All right, that's it for this time. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.